Welcome to Food Safety 101, Basics in Food Handling. This section will cover the basics in food handling practices and help you with procedures to follow to have a safe and successful food demonstration. We will also discuss how food can become contaminated due to biological, chemical, and physical factors. Finally, there are important food handling behaviors that, if followed, can reduce the risk of foodborne illness. These include personal hygiene, time and temperature abuse, cross-contamination, and cleaning and sanitation. This module, Basics in Food Handling, is designed to address 4 of the basic food safety competencies for agents. However, this training is appropriate for agents, program assistants, and volunteers. Basics in Food Handling practice is comprised of 4 objectives. Those 4 objectives are: define the term foodborne illness, describe populations vulnerable to foodborne illness, identify biological, chemical, and physical hazards, and describe common behaviors that cause foodborne illness. To navigate through the training, use the Continue and Previous buttons at the bottom of the slides. At the end of each section, you will click Main Menu to return to this slide and select the next objective. Once you have completed each section covering the objectives, you will then be required to complete a short quiz. You also have an opportunity to review some key points by clicking Quick Review before taking the quiz. Now click on the first objective to get started. Let's start by defining the term foodborne illness. Foodborne illness is an illness caused by food contaminated with an organism capable of causing disease such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Foodborne illness is sometimes called food poisoning. Imagine that you were demonstrating and serving a sample of chicken salad. A few days later, several in your audience became sick. Upon inspection, the health department learns that everyone sampled your chicken salad. What do you think would happen next? The news would spread. Everyone will know the food was consumed at your demonstration. The worst part is the pain and suffering foodborne illness can cause. In some cases, these symptoms require medical attention. Let's look closely at the symptoms of foodborne illness. Click on the tabs to the right to learn more about these symptoms and when to seek medical attention. Then click Continue to move forward. Have you heard of a 9-year-old girl who ate a hamburger contaminated with E. coli over 20 years ago? That particular strand of bacteria killed 3 Washington children and sickened 600 others. The pain and suffering this young girl went through led to a $15.6 million legal settlement. This outbreak thrust foodborne illness onto the national stage, leading to changes in how Americans and government deal with the issue. So what happened to the young girl? Click on tabs to bring up details about her case. Well, what did she eat? When she ate an undercooked hamburger contaminated with E. coli, no one imagined the pain and anguish she would suffer. She developed hemolytic uremic syndrome, HUS, or acute kidney failure. What was the damage? One by one, her organs began to fail. She slipped into a coma and spent more than 40 days in the hospital. During that time, she had 3 strokes, 10,000 seizures, failure of every major organ, brain damage, and muscle wasting. But she survived and learned to walk and talk again. Watch this video by Bill Marler, who litigated her case, to learn more about why preventing foodborne illness is important, especially for vulnerable populations. Click the play arrow to begin. So how did a 9-year-old girl become so vulnerable to this illness? Being a child, her immune system had not fully developed, so she had less ability to fight the infection. The numbers are pretty staggering. About 1 in 6 Americans get sick with foodborne illness each year. This results in about 128,000 hospitalizations and 3,000 deaths. This ends up costing around $15.6 billion each year, not only in direct medical costs, but also lost wages and productivity. Now click on the main menu button below to return to the objectives and continue the training. Now you have a basic understanding of what foodborne illness is. Let's look at populations that are most vulnerable. Some populations are more vulnerable to infection because they have immature immune systems or weakened immune systems. Click Continue to move on in this section. Click on each tab to the left to learn more about the vulnerable populations. Infants and young children have immature immune systems. Older adults and pregnant women have weakened immune systems. People with illnesses and chronic conditions such as diabetes, cancer, HIV/AIDS, and liver disease have weakened immune systems. People receiving treatments such as chemotherapy, those who have recently had surgery, and those taking certain medications may have weakened immune systems. Now let's check your knowledge. Click and drag each photo to the corresponding square. Then click Submit to see how you do. Click the Alternative Activity to Drag and Drop button if you are unable to use the drag and drop feature. Let's quickly review the vulnerable populations. Infants, young children, older adults, and pregnant women, as well as people with chronic diseases such as diabetes or HIV/AIDS, and who may be on treatment, all have weakened immune systems and are more vulnerable to foodborne illness. Now click on Main Menu to move forward in the training.